Everyone loves shipping couples, right? And in Bluey, this happens in the most incredible way. The show is filled with moments that make us imagine who goes well with whom and how these relationships might evolve in the future. But do you know which characters have that special chemistry? And which pairs have already shown that they could be a couple, even if it's only in Bluey's future? For example, in Bluey's class, we can already spot couples with great potential, and without a doubt, one of the most promising pairs is Indy and Rusty. These two have already made it clear that, despite some differences, there's a special connection between them. Their first interaction happens in the episode Calypso from season 1. Rusty and Indy start off by arguing, with Indy calling him annoying. However, their teacher steps in, and like magic, Indy invites him to play mommy and daddy. At that moment, it's obvious something has shifted between them. But it seems like their story was just beginning because, in the very next episode, titled Mums and Dads, the two play together again, this time taking on the roles of a couple raising an imaginary baby. Rusty even pretends to fix the sink while their baby naps. Their chemistry is undeniable, as their game feels so real that they can only play like this with each other. Even when Indy tries the same game with others, like Winton or one of the terriers, it doesn't click. Similarly, Rusty attempts to play the same with Bluey, but it doesn't work either, as she starts treating him like a baby instead. Throughout the episode, it's impossible not to notice how well they complement each other. Even when they argue about who should work outside the home and who should care for little Polly, their pretend baby, Rusty and Indy form such a captivating pair that many fans are rooting for their story to continue in the future. After all, they seem like the perfect couple. Get ready to dive into all the couples and crushes in Bluey that have fans cheering for them to get together.
Rusty, let's play Mums and Dads.
Okay.
Now it's time to talk about one of the cutest crushes of the show's main character, Jean-Luc, the Canadian pup who speaks French. The first and only time we see him in person is in the episode Camping, where he and Bluey form such a special friendship that it's clear there's something more between them. When Jean-Luc leaves, Bluey cries alone, showing how deeply he touched her life. Missing Jean-Luc so much, Bluey even draws pictures of him. This little gesture shows just how special he is to her. Years later, both grow up, just like the tree they planted together. On a return trip to the camp, they finally reunite as teenagers. Jean-Luc can now speak Bluey's language, and their tails wag with joy at the sight of each other. But the big question is, could Jean-Luc win Bluey's heart, especially with Mackenzie in the picture? Some fans prefer the Canadian, while others root for the black and white border collie. And you? Who do you support? Returning to Bluey's class, we now have a couple that sparks a lot of curiosity among fans who believe there might be something more in the future. We're talking about Winton and Coco. While it's clear that Winton has a soft spot for the pink poodle, the situation seems a bit complicated for now. At least, as we all know, Winton is a friendly English bulldog who cares deeply for Coco. Despite their differences, he seems to see something truly special in her, making this story even more intriguing. In several episodes, we see Winton's efforts to get closer to Coco. However, she doesn't show the same interest. In some subtle moments, we even see the little bulldog experiencing the pain of unrequited love. The situation becomes even trickier when we notice that Coco seems to have a crush on another classmate, Mackenzie. This is evident in the episode where they play circus. When Mackenzie decides to be the lion tamer, Coco quickly declares herself as the acrobat and the tamer's wife. However, Mackenzie isn't thrilled by the idea and bluntly rejects Coco, leaving her visibly disappointed. Despite this, Coco doesn't give up and manages to convince Mackenzie to lie down and act out a game, ending the episode with a smile on her face for being closer to him. Meanwhile, Winton remains without a clear partner, and we hope he has better luck in the future. After all, Mackenzie might end up being Bluey's pair at some point, but who knows? That's why we still believe that Winton and Coco might have a chance together. We'd love to see it happen. Stay tuned, because next on our list is a teenage pair that might have already started dating. If you're enjoying our list, comment below couple. Now let's talk about a couple that promises to have a very special future in Bluey, Captain and Mia. We first meet these two in the episode Boats, where they appear as friends of Bluey and Mackenzie. Even though they are 12 years old, they get along really well with the younger pups. What's noticeable is that, during the episode, we see a clear interest between the two teenagers. This becomes evident as they come up with excuses to stay together, sometimes even managing to be alone. Their connection is so obvious that it's impossible not to root for them as a couple. To add to this, there's an analogy made by Calypso for Bluey and Mackenzie about the transition from childhood to adolescence, which clearly symbolizes the likely destiny of Captain and Mia in the near future. In fact, we could even say that the two little boats touching at the end of the episode, as if they shared a small kiss, represent Mia and Captain. Additionally, in other episodes, we see these two characters together in various scenarios, like in the episode Cricket, where they play with Rusty's brother, indicating that they probably attend the same school as Bluey's classmate sibling. The most exciting moment after Boats happens in the episode Curry Quest. In the final scene, they appear even closer, chatting during the fair, near the face-painting booth run by Mackenzie's mom. Their body language in this scene strongly suggests there's something special between them. There's no denying it. Mia and Captain are practically destined to be a couple in Bluey's future.
At least we'll be there together.
Oh, go, Captain!
Our buddies!
Shifting from future puppy couples and the budding romance of Mia and Captain, let's talk about the funniest and most beloved couple in the series, Bandit and Chilli. Bluey and Bingo's parents represent something truly wonderful and heartwarming, a genuine and enduring love that dates back to their puppy days, at least on Bandit's part. In the episode Fairy Tale, we see how the story of the future Mr. and Mrs. Healer is one of those that touches our hearts. It begins with a young bandit dreaming about the little red healer pup who once returned his hat and freed him from a strange enchantment. This spell, cast by his older brother as a punishment for not being a good sibling to Stripe, had left Bandit unable to speak, while Bluey's dad is convinced that this little girl was destined to be his future wife. Chilli claims she doesn't remember any of it. Poor love-struck Bandit. Thankfully, whether or not their first encounter actually happened in the wild 1980s, fate brought them together again years later in a charming part of England, as shown in the Mother's Day special episode. Wouldn't it be amazing if there were an episode dedicated to their past? It would be wonderful to see the moments that shaped Bandit and Chilli's youth and the details of how their romance blossomed. It's definitely something many fans would love to watch. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel now so you won't miss it if something like that ever happens.
Are you ready, Bob?
Now let's talk about Radley and Frysk, a couple that sparks curiosity and generates countless fan theories. There's no doubt they have a bright future ahead, with speculations about marriage and future puppies. All signs point to these events finally happening at the end of Bluey's third season, where we see Chilli express surprise and joy over news shared by Frysk. The origin of this couple was purely coincidental, or maybe not. It all began when Radley and Frysk were forced to take care of Bluey and Bingo while Bandit and Chilli went out for a romantic evening. During this time, Radley and Frysk got to know each other better, started dating, and even spent Christmas together out west. However, many fans believe this accidental situation was actually orchestrated by Bandit and Chilli, acting as true cupids. Their plan worked perfectly, culminating in this beautiful relationship. Finally, we have to mention Bluey's newest couple, Cornelius, Winton's dad, and the mother of the terrier triplets. Their romance began subtly, with exchanged glances during a casual encounter at the schoolyard. Following this, the two met again at a department store, and from there, their relationship only grew. They started to know each other better, and their feelings evolved into something more serious. The relationship grew so strong that they decided to sell Cornelius' house with a pool. This sale ended up saving Bandit's family, allowing them to continue living in their home and ensuring even more adventures for Bluey's fans in future seasons. The story of Cornelius and the terrier's mom not only brings us joy but also saved our favorite animated series. They are living proof that love can transform everything. We wish this adorable couple all the happiness in the world. To make your day even more enjoyable, we've selected 2 amazing videos for you to watch right now. Just click on the one you prefer. Thank you, and see you in the next video.